The day we have been waiting months and months and months for is finally here. Wrexham Football Club have officially unveiled the new pictures and the new plans for the new 5,500 seater Kop Stand, which has been drawn up and designed by Populous, and it's fair to say this stand does not disappoint at all. So welcome back to the channel for another video. Of course, we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club, and you know what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about the new 5,500 seater Kop Stand, something I think might interest you watching this. Me and my mate were out in Chester on Saturday night, and I thought, you know, this might interest a few of you. We turn the corner, and who do we see? We see Jacob Mendy, new signing Ryan Longman, Arthur Okonkwo, and Mo Farrell. It was just, you know, a bit shocking because we saw Arthur and then we saw all the other players, and it was just completely out of the blue and unexpected because they played Crawley, of course, later on in the day, and I think they must have flown back, hence why they were back so quickly. But really nice people to talk to, you know, it was like chatting to mates. They were really nice. So Wrexham Football Club have officially released 3 or 4 new pictures, of course drawn up by Populous, for the design of the Kop, which will be up and completed by the summer of 2026 for the European Under-19s Championship, where the final will be hosted at the racecourse ground. Rob McElhenney came out and said they wanted to create a cauldron and this design would only work in Wrexham, and his words did not disappoint. Populous was set to create a master plan for not only the Kop Stand but for the whole of the racecourse ground, and they've got off to a brilliant start with the design of the new Kop. This is completely raw. I'm just reacting to the news as it has come out now, but of course, you know, Populous came into Wrexham Football Club towards the end of 2024 to create a design that will emboss, you know, the history of Wrexham, not only in the football club but this city of Wrexham, into the Kop Stand. And there are so many, you know, minor details and major details in this new Kop Stand design that really just showcase the rich history that Wrexham does have. So if we're talking on the football side of things first, the proposals for the new 5,500 seater Kop Stand include safe standing, which we had under AFL architects, and I think that was the plan all along, obviously, to have safe standing in the Kop Stand. It's going to be the new way forward. Of course, the EFL have come in and said, you know, you can't stand in the tech end at games. It doesn't stop the fans, but, you know, to have that safe standing meaning that issue won't be lingering around. Hospitality suites, which, yes, it's fair to say Wrexham Football Club do need, and looking at the pictures, there seems to be sort of like 2 tiers of hospitality seats, so we will not be short of hospitality boxes, and it'll be, of course, extra income driven into Wrexham Football Club. Accessible seating and creating a landmark focal point for the main gateway into the city centre, and the architects of the new Kop Stand have come out and said the roof design aims to boost the atmosphere on match days by amplifying sound from supporters towards the pitch. I keep on bringing AFL architects up, but if we're comparing, you know, what they want to do with the Kop Stand and what Populous wanted to do, it's fairly similar. I think that was the plan all along. I don't think anything major was going to change in terms of what was, you know, going to be the features inside the Kop Stand. But I think something really interesting to note as well, the new stand will also have a capacity for an extra 2,000 seats, which will be added whenever Wrexham Football Club feel like it, subject to a separate planning application. Something as well that I really like about this is player facilities, including the tunnel, will be moved from the Wrexham Lager stand to the Kop, and I'll overlay a picture on screen now. You can see it sort of goes into the bottom right corner of the Kop, and I think this is a really good sort of psychological touch by Wrexham. You think, imagine the players from the opposition team walking down that tunnel after the warm-ups or waiting to walk out onto the racecourse pitch. Even when they're in the changing rooms, the manager's trying to give them instructions, tactics, etc. They're trying to get, you know, in the right mindset, and directly above you is 5,500 Wrexham fans screaming and shouting at the top of their lungs. It is going to be very intimidating for the opposition, and I think this is a really good touch. Something as well I stated at the start of the video, embossing the history of Wrexham into this Kop Stand. The stand will be built out of the historic Ruabon red bricks, which were produced in the local area of Wrexham, and you've also got 2 dragons which are predominantly displayed on one corner of the stand as featured on the club's crest, which I think is a really nice touch. Of course, it's these minor details that are just really making me a fan of this Kop Stand. Yes, there were a few questions on the design. All that matters at the end of the day is what is inside the racecourse ground, and if it's going to create a good atmosphere, create more facilities, drive extra income into Wrexham Football Club, meet the demand of fans that want to come and watch Wrexham, then it's a win-win situation. I was looking when the news first came out to see people's reactions, and then a lot of people moaning at the design of the Kop Stand, and yes, you can be sort of shocked. I think I was shocked as well because it was so different to what we first seen drawn up by AFL architects. it was a unique design. And I think you've got so many clubs these days. I think a prime example is Brentford at Griffin Park. They have a historical club and a historical stadium, and they move into just a soulless bowl, which sort of just completely ruins the fan base, ruins the atmosphere. And I think that's something we need to be so lucky of at Wrexham Football Club, the fact that, you know, we're building on the existing ground. And I think in some circumstances it would have been cheaper to build a completely new stadium and, you know, a soulless bowl, but we've got owners who really care about the club's rich history and the history, you know, like I said, of the city of Wrexham. So I think that's something we should be really, really grateful of. And I think, you know, although it does look a bit wacky and a bit unique, I think that's what makes it so good. And I think that's why I'm such a big fan of it, because it is unique, it looks different, it will grow on people eventually, like everything does, like we have with kits and new signings. Eventually it will grow on people, and I think I'm a prime example of that. When kits first come out, I take one glance and think that's horrible, but at the end of the season you end up with all three, and I think that's what we do need to be, you know, obviously wary of with the Kop Stand. It would have been cheaper probably for the club to have gone out and built a new stadium, but the owners, the people that work within the club, really understand Wrexham Football Club's rich history and, you know, the passion of the fan base that Wrexham Football Club do have, and they all understand if Wrexham were to move out of the racecourse ground, the oldest international stadium in the world, it would have ended in disaster. So we can only thank them for that. I think we secured something like 17 million from the government funding money, so it obviously wasn't cheap to do this, but of course they're putting the fans first in every situation, which was one of their first promises when they took over Wrexham Football Club, and they have not let that promise down. The rear of the stand looks out onto a public plaza that will act as a fan space on match days and on non-match days, where a miners' wheel will be located in the tribute to the 266 men and boys who died in the Gresford Colliery disaster in 1934, which I think again is a really good touch, something that sort of needed to be in that Kop Stand, and we are really embracing the history of Wrexham Football Club, and it's a brilliant touch. Anyone can visit any time to see the miners' wheel, which again, like I said, it's just these small details that are really, really making me a fan of this Kop Stand and just making me fall in love even more with this wonderful football club. The new Kop Stand as well will be fully compliant with UEFA Category 4 stadium requirements, and along with adjustments to the pitch, will enable the racecourse to host the UEFA European Under-19 Championship final tournament matches in 2006. This will mean a new pitch relaid for Wrexham Football Club, under soil heating. So yeah, we're really getting a bit fancy now. Seeing what Michael Williamson, the CEO, has said on this, he said the new Kop Stand marks a special moment in the history of the racecourse ground, allowing us to restore the traditional four-sided enclosure of the stadium, providing new and improved facilities and experiences for our fans and visitors to the stadium alike. The distinctive design of the new Kop Stand embodies the history and the heritage of Wrexham, rooted in the local community, creating a timeless, authentic piece of civic architecture that complements other landmarks. It will provide an iconic landmark standing at the gateway to the city, giving it a true sense of place. I can agree with everything he's saying on that. He also says the stand reflects the key role of the football club can play in the rejuvenation and the redevelopment of the city through its role in the Wrexham Gateway project. The upgrading of facilities to meet UEFA 4 category specifications are central to our wider vision of bringing international sport back to Wrexham and the benefit this will bring to the local community of North Wales hosting these events. So yeah, what we can understand is that Wales national team will obviously come up to Wrexham to play a lot more international matches, which we've always wanted. They've always played their games down, of course, in Cardiff City and sometimes from time to time at the Millennium Stadium, but up in North Wales you'll get one game at the racecourse ground in every 3-4 years. So having this new Kop Stand up is going to benefit so much, of course, to bringing Welsh international football back to North Wales. North Wales has been deprived from seeing Wales national team play there for years and years now. So having a 17,000 seater stadium, we can expect hopefully World Cup qualifiers, Euro qualifiers, Nations League, any Wales games hopefully will have, you know, a share of distribution between the Cardiff City Stadium and the racecourse ground. Obviously at the start with AFL Architects, the plan was to have a new big club superstore, of course. We can see in the pictures of the new Kop Stand, Populous have designed one where it will run at the bottom left of the new Kop Stand. So still expect to see a new and improved, which is obviously much needed, club shop underneath the Kop Stand at Wrexham. So that's something I was hoping to see in it, and it has. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There's a lot of mixed opinions on this. Of course, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. As long as you're going to be inside the Kop Stand, the outside, yes, is completely different to the inside design. And I think we're lucky that the inside design, of course, is that one single tier, which we've always wanted. You look at the likes of Liverpool, you look at parts of the Stretford end at Manchester United. It's these historical one-tier Kop Stand, which creates so much atmosphere and just improves the atmosphere, than sort of having that two-tier where the fans seem slightly disconnected. But the noise when we first come out into our first league fixture, when 5,500 fans are in that Kop, is going to be ridiculous. And, you know, they said before they were going to create a design that only works for Wrexham, and they have. Of course, it includes the Ruabon red bricks, which I think is a really nice touch, and this sort of seems like the final piece to, you know, everything that's gone on at Wrexham Football Club the past couple of years, getting out of the National League. We've done that. We've obviously got out of League 2 as well. We've got new owners into the club. We're going up and up. We've got a good squad. All we need now is this Kop Stand and, of course, a permanent training facility. Once those two are in place, Wrexham Football Club, the sky's the limit for us. So some really, really good news and some really, really good designs that have been drawn up by Populous. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It's going to be like Marmite. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. In my opinion, I looked at it straight away and I immediately fell in love with this. It just makes me fall in love with Wrexham Football Club even more than I already am. And of course, my great granddad was chairman of Wrexham Football Club throughout World War II and in the early 50s. So to have, you know, part of Wrexham Football Club running through my blood, and to seeing where the football club is now and what we've seen, you know, previously to the takeover, is just so special. And like I said, I cannot love this football club anymore, and we're living in such a magical time, and you have to pinch yourself every single day to see if this is really real. And yes, it is real. Wrexham Football Club have Hollywood owners. We're competing at the top end of League One. We're looking at a new, possible in years to come, 7,500 seater Kop Stand. We're getting attendances of 12,000-13,000. We've got a massive international fan base. We've had sponsors with United Airlines, TikTok, and, you know, we've sold tens and thousands of shirts. We've got a documentary on Disney Plus about us, and, you know, it's just crammed into such a short amount of time, and it's been less than 5 years, and it's gone so quick. And, you know, it just seems so magical and so unreal to think we're in this position. So yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts on everything that I've just read out of this video. Of course, let me know everything you think about the new Kop Stand. Make sure to subscribe, drop a like, do all that good stuff. And of course, it is deadline day, so this might not be the last time you see my face on your screens today. Like I said, if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the video. Take care, guys. Up the town.